All right. Hey, everybody. It is Christine Morel. I'm excited to be here. I hope that you are. I know that if I got musicians in this room, singers, bands. If you are looking for a way for you to get out of that 9 to 5 job that you hate, or doing shows for free all the time and doing open mics and all that stuff, and you're trying to figure out a way for you to make money doing what you love, you're in the right place right now. And I'm excited to talk about all this stuff because this is dear to me. Because if you know anything about me, then you know that for 8 years I struggled as a musician trying to figure out how to eat, how to pay my bills, how to live off of music. But I decided that I was going to do it. And you guys are here because you decided it too. So congratulations. I applaud you guys for taking a step towards changing your future, because a lot of people don't even take a step. They're too afraid to even try. So thank you guys so much for being here right now. I applaud you for doing this. So this is the first step, and I think the hardest step to just go out and pursue it. So today what I'm going to talk about is how to get paid to perform music without being famous on social media and without a manager or a record label. Now, this is a common belief that everybody has. Most people I talk to, and I'm like, why haven't you been able to succeed in music? They're like, oh, it's because I don't have a manager. I don't have, a million followers on YouTube or whatever it is. And I'm like, I can't believe this is holding so many people back, because this is not true. This is not real. This is it doesn't hurt. Of course it doesn't hurt to have great social media following. It doesn't hurt to have a great manager, and that can absolutely be a great addition to your music career. Do you have to have it? No, you don't. You don't have to have all those things at all. In fact, you don't need any of those things. And I'm going to talk to you guys about why you don't need any of those things. Now, I want you guys to communicate with me. You can use that chat box. Say hello. Say where you're from. And hello, David. hello, Canadian guitar player. Very, very nice to meet you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I am super, super stoked as well. So what we're gonna get on right now. I want you to save any questions that you have towards the end of the webinar. Okay, guys, it's very hard for me to answer questions during the webinar because I have a lot of material to cover, but I will answer any questions that you have at the very end. So let's get started. I'm going to share a little bit about myself. My name is Christine Morel. I'm a pianist and a singer. I went from being a homeless, starving musician of many years to performing more than 200 paid shows around the world each year. Guys, some years I've done like 400, like I've done double that. Now I'm here to talk to you guys about how you can get on path to doing what you love for a living too. I want to ask, how many of you have dreamed about performing on stage, traveling the world, or performing locally and getting paid while doing it? How many of you were told that you had to have a bajillion followers on Instagram, slave over making cover song videos for YouTube, accumulate millions of video views, perform at open mics, and do free shows, and then maybe you'll get discovered and be able to turn what you love into a living? That just sounds terrible. I really don't like all that stuff. I don't like that people believe this. I believed it too. But I'm here to talk to you guys about that there is another way. I'm here to talk to you about how you can create a successful music career without a social media following, without a manager, and without a record label. Here are the class instructions. If you're anything like me, I'm usually doing 10 things at the same time. But I want you to do no multitasking. I'm about to give you guys some free information that if somebody had given me this information when I first started out, my life would have been very easy. Okay, so this could change your life if you apply everything that I give you. So no multitasking, silence your phones, close your door, close your other tabs, get a pen and paper and take some notes and get ready to learn. And like I said, have your questions ready for the end of this webinar. Here's someone that I worked with. She says, thank you for making me believe in myself. I finally quit my job that I hated. Now I sing and I perform for a living. I pinch myself because I don't think this is real. Thank you. And this is Jennifer. She's originally from Chicago, but she's currently in Jamaica. She was currently in Jamaica when she texted me this on a cruise ship. I love getting texts or emails from students that I've worked with about how music has completely changed their life. This is just amazing. And I get these all the time, guys. I've worked with people from all over the world, all different walks of life. I figured out a foolproof method to booking paid shows and have been performing and making even more money ever since. More importantly, I'm loving every minute of it. I now teach those methods that made me successful. So I want you to imagine, guys, if you performed every night and people paid you to do it, wouldn't that be cool? Imagine if you could wake up to new cities and adventures around the world while making money doing what you love. Imagine if you could completely support yourself or your family off of performing. And imagine if you could meet new people, get awesome perks like free food, drinks, and experience new things, all because of your performances. And on top of this, you're on stage. You're getting the rush of energy that you get. You're getting that adrenaline rush. You have people screaming and loving you. I mean, I just love being on stage. And the thought that you can actually get paid to do it too is just beautiful. So my promise to you today is that by the end of this webinar, you will learn my 3-step hit the stage method on how to go from a complete beginner to booking shows. Now, if you're not a complete beginner and you're intermediate, advanced, whatever, I still have a lot of really great stuff to share with you. So I want you to learn how to use this free tool to learn how to find venues anywhere in the world that you want to perform that has live music and that are willing to pay you to do it. That's the thing. You got to find these venues that are willing to pay you. And I'm going to teach you how to contact these venues and get them interested in booking you. Now, if you stay till the end, I also have something free for you guys. I'm going to give you an email template for you to send to the venues that you want to perform at to get you paid in performing. I want them to get interested in you. So I've done all the work for you. I've used this email script to book me literally hundreds of gigs. And you get to just take it, customize it, and use it for you today just by staying till the end. My 3-step hit the stage method, free training. It's a $4.97 value for free. And I'm also going to give you this email template. I'm giving you more than $500 worth of stuff, guys. Now, these 2 things are absolutely free. I'm going to give you with no obligation. You don't have to buy a single thing. Once you get to know me, you're going to find that I just love to give out lots of free stuff. But at the end of this webinar, I'm also going to be giving you an offer to work with me to help you get on track to performing and getting paid today. All right. How does that sound? Is it okay if I get started? Is that cool? Hey, Elizabeth. Yep. I'm ready too. I'm ready, girl. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. So here's a little bit about me, guys. I'm from the tiniest little town of 8,000 people. It's called Lovington, New Mexico. I have no music degree. I have no higher education degree in anything. We were very poor. I lived in government housing. My mom is an immigrant from Mexico. Odds were against me that I would ever have a music career. And that's me on the right. That's one of my first little keyboards that I had. But I knew I wanted to perform. I just had no idea how to do it. And how many of you feel the same way? You're like, yo, I want to perform for a living. I have no idea where to even begin. This is just for lucky people. Or this is for people that have parents that paid for them to get in it. Or this is for people that know people or whatever it is, whatever your excuse is. I get it because I was just sitting there going, how in the world am I going to do this? I just knew I had to figure it out. Now it's frustrating, right? Now, I made a decision that I was going to make it happen no matter what. I did not have a plan B. Do I have people in here that are like, no, I just have one plan. That's it. I'm just going to do music. I will fight my way for the rest of my life to do it. And I feel you guys. Yes, I see you. Do I have people right now that are going, there is no other option. Otherwise, I will not be happy. And that's what I decided. I was like, there's just nothing else that gives me this feeling. There's no other profession that I can do. 100%, this is what I'm doing. Now, you're wondering why there's this picture of this pig, so I'm going to get there. I didn't know a single person in the music industry. I lived in the middle of the country, far from any type of music or entertainment. I raised a pig out in the middle of nowhere where we lived. We were surrounded by dairy farms, cornfields, pecan orchards. I pulled weeds on farms for about $20 a day. I mowed lawns. I did all kinds of weird farmer, rural, suburban type stuff. Now, I share all of this with you because I want you to get a picture in your mind of how far I was from my dreams when I started out. Because some of you are feeling the same way. You're like, no, I live on a freaking glacier in Alaska. How in the world am I going to do this? I'm telling you, anybody can do this as long as you have some talent. I spent 8 years of my adult life right out of high school struggling to make enough money to eat. I didn't have an apartment or a place to live, and everything I owned fit in one suitcase. I had nothing. Now, if you have ever eaten Del Taco right now, every day I was there. You know, if you've ever pulled up to a Del Taco, you get 2 tacos for 98 cents. Not just 1 taco. You get 2 tacos. I was at Del Taco every day. They knew me by name. They were like, Christine, How you doing today? I'm like, Jerry, how's the kids? I mean, we were like on first name basis, guys. Like everybody knew I was. I knew them. That was all that I could afford. I did this for years. Now I had this car that had no air conditioning. The windows did not roll down, and the driver's side door did not work. For me to get out of this car, I had to climb through the passenger side door. I had to literally get up and get out of the car through the passenger side. It was incredibly embarrassing. The car would turn off at every stoplight. If I made a complete stop, the car would turn off and I'd have to open the hood and reattach the battery. Stuff was always going wrong with my car, but it's all that I could afford. Now, I sold my music going door to door on the streets to make money while I pursued my music career. So I had other goals of being a songwriter and an artist, but I needed to get by. I wasn't going to do anything but music, though. I was like, nope, there's nothing else that I'm going to do. I'm just going to do music to make a living, and I'm going to figure it out. So I decided I was going to go door to door. This is how I survived. I would knock on people's doors and sell them a burned copy of my CD. Now, if you don't know what it means to burn CDs, then you are very young. But back in the day, I'd have to basically duplicate CDs on my computer with my music and go sell it to people. And I recorded these CDs in my friend's closet. Now, most of the people would slam doors in my face. They would yell at me for interrupting their dinner. Guys, I knocked on tens of thousands of doors, by the way, over the span of these 8 years. So I got a lot of mean people. On top of these people being really mean to me, I would be outside in the blistering cold, where my whole body would go numb because I couldn't afford proper clothing to keep me warm. And in the summer, it would literally be 115 degrees outside. I got chased by neighborhood dogs. I mean, it was very, very interesting. I gotta write a book on those experiences alone, but I wasn't willing to get a regular job. I knew I would do anything to make my dreams come true. And I know some of you are out there like, I don't care what I gotta do. I will do anything. And I sat there going, I will figure this out. And I kept going. Years and years went by until I finally had a breakthrough. Here's me present day. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I built my first home from the ground up. It was really amazing to be able to buy a house from money that I made in music. I've performed more than 1,000 shows in the last 3 years, and I perform and travel full time, and I do what I love. Now, guys, this is a pretty amazing picture. There were 20,000 people at this conference that I did, or at this concert that I did in New York City. It was, if you know Brian McKnight, Faith Evans, Lil' Kim, Jagged Edge. I mean, it was like a big 90s, all the artists that were really big in the 90s in R&B were there. I got to perform there. They paid for me to go out there and everything. You know, I went out there and performed in front of 20,000 people. I was the only person that wasn't famous on the lineup. Every single person there was famous except for me. And that's why I'm telling you guys, I am the example of someone that can do this, and it can teach you how to do this without being famous. Because everybody else on there had to have all these big hits. How in the world did I do it? I figured it out after many, 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 many years. And I'm going to talk to you guys more about it here in just a bit. I do performances on cruise ships, hotel and resort contracts, major venues, and minor venues, like little baby venues too. In Las Vegas, Hollywood, New York, and that's just in the United States. I've traveled 6 continents. I've traveled every single continent except for Antarctica. If they had live music on Antarctica, believe me, I would be there. But I have traveled all over the world doing music. I've worked with agents and managers eventually, but that's not where I started out. But eventually I was able to do just about everything that you could think of, including performing at, huge venues, but also at little restaurants and lounges. And you'll be very surprised to know that you can make very good money. And a lot of the students that I work with make upwards of 50, 60 grand or more playing at just restaurants. Did you know that? Did you know that you could make that much money just playing at little places? You don't have to be on a huge stage somewhere or with a big rock band. You can literally just be you. Now, I perform music for a living, and I want to teach you how to do it too. So I want you to ask yourself, where are some of the places you've dreamed of performing? I know that some of you guys are like, I really want to go to Bali, or I want to go to Russia, or I want to go to China. Would you love to see places like Tahiti, Hawaii, Jamaica, or performing songs and getting the rush of being on stage? Imagine if you could go all these places and get paid to go there. You're not having to save up to go there. They're covering all your expenses to go out there and perform. This is possible. Now, another thing that I think is important to bring up is that I had been signed with Universal Records many years ago. The reason I bring this up is because people have this false idea that when you get signed, then that means you've made it. You're going to get famous and you're never going to have to worry about money ever again. Now, wouldn't that be awesome? But it's not true. This is completely wrong. A very small handful of people actually do make money after getting signed, but most artists don't ever make money. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get signed to a label, and there is a small percentage of people who do have success with it. But why not make great money now and ensure that you'll be successful? No matter whether a label makes you money or not, why put your fate in anyone else's hands but your own? Now, I've gotten to do a lot of other cool stuff, and it's really important that I share this. I do a lot of charity work as well. Now, a lot of musicians out there, I know we don't just do music for ourselves. We do it because I believe we're like, most of us are like a bunch of hippies that want to like change the world through music. And we're all just like about love and, all of these things. And music, because of the money I've made from music, I've paid for my own trips to work with kids. That's the passion for me, working with children in Africa, India, Thailand, Peru. I mean, just all over the United States. These are some pictures of me, both internationally and domestically, been able to do things that are dear to me and help people around me because of the life that I've created for myself with music. What are some of your goals out there? Have any of you dreamed of helping out your community or people in need using your musical gifts? Now, I will tell you, it is wonderful getting paid. It is wonderful seeing the world. It is wonderful staying in a fancy hotel. But I will tell you, when someone comes up to me with tears in their eyes and says, my son has passed away and that was his favorite song that you just played. Thank you so much. And I see the effect that it has on people. That is more valuable than anything else. So on top of it, to be like, I get to create this feeling for people. It touches me in ways, makes me feel like I'm actually doing something purposeful, doing something that's changing the world, changing people, even if it's one person's life that I'm changing that night, reminding them of a loved one or helping them celebrate an anniversary or whatever it is. That is the greatest feeling in the world. And on top of it, that I'm walking away with money. I mean, this is one of the only careers where you can do that. So does any of this apply to you? You've always wanted to pursue a career performing music, but you don't even know where to begin. You know you're supposed to have a plan, but you've just been winging it. You've always wanted to travel the world and get paid, but you have no idea how. You want to quit your boring day job. Yes. Oh my God. That is just the best feeling in the world. You want to get paid to basically party. Maybe some of you are like, I want to party and just have a good time and enjoy yourself. You want to wake up every day and think, I can't wait to go to work. You find that the idea of figuring out how to book gigs and learn the things necessary to become a professional performer just is overwhelming. It's too much. Or you're a singer, songwriter, band who writes your own music and you're pursuing your own career, in music and writing and that sort of thing, but you need to make money in the meantime and would rather do it performing music instead of waiting tables. And does any of this apply to you guys, that you want to support your family? Some people believe that you can't support your family, that you're not going to make enough money. And I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can. Now, who is this not for? This is not for lazy people. No. It's not for people who are not ambitious or motivated. It's not for people who aren't driven to take their lives into their own hands. I know this isn't the case for you guys because you're here because you are taking your life into your own hands. You're here because you are being proactive in going towards your goals. So that's why I'm really excited. I got this room full of really proactive people, go-getters. This is not for people who cannot hold a tune. Sorry, guys, if you're not at least a little bit talented, this program won't work for you. I wish I could say this would work for everybody, but if you're not talented, no, I'm sorry. But you don't got to be the most talented person in the world. You just got to be able to be a little bit talented. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that here in a minute. And this is not for people who want someone else to do all the work for them. I know that sounds wonderful, but no, I am not going to teach you to do that. So if you want me to do that for you, I can't. Okay, so, but this is for everyone else who is ready to take a step towards going down that path for their music career. Now, I want you to imagine what it will be like to love your job, to say that your office is a music venue. Wouldn't that be cool? Hey, another day at work, and it's like on stage. Now, to imagine what it would be like to see money in your bank account and know that it comes from your talent. Imagine what it's like to be lounging on different islands or countries around the world while getting paid. Imagine what it's like to get the thrill of being on stage performing and just meeting awesome people who love and appreciate hearing you. It's wonderful to be recognized for something that you've worked so hard for in your life. So again, take notes. There's lots of great information and advice to come. Apply these pointers and you will get gigs. You're going to get paid shows, guys. Now, dedicated people take notes. And I know you're dedicated because you're here now. Get that pen, get that paper, write these notes down. I'm going to give you some information that can completely change your life if you apply it. Here's a disclaimer. After watching this, you won't be able to quit your job tomorrow, okay? It takes time and dedication, but it is easier than you think. Making money and traveling is not hard, but it does take work. Life is full of endless possibilities, but you have to take action to make anything happen, okay? You have to take action. Now, there are two types of people. 99% of people who will think this is great information and then do nothing with it. The type of person who doesn't want to put the work in and would rather just make excuses than take action. Then there's the 1% of people who are go-getters. Well, that is you. People who aren't afraid to take action to better their life. You are here for a reason, and I believe that it's because you are part of the 1%. Now, I bet you think you have to do free shows and open mics and get discovered, right? How many of you have believed that? Now, you don't need anyone else to believe in you or discover you. And no one can make you successful anyway if you don't have the key things I'm going to teach you later in this webinar. If you follow my steps, you can completely avoid having to do free shows at all. You don't have to do it, guys. You don't have to. I bet you think you have to have a lot of money to invest. When I started, I had no job, no savings, no gigs, and was in terrible debt. I knew no musicians and had no money to put together a band either. I had $0. I was about $20,000 in debt, guys, in credit card debt. Now, I bet you think you have to be young. This is a popular belief because to get famous, it's usually easier for young people. Okay, that's right. But I'm not teaching you how to get famous. I'm teaching you how to book paid shows based on your talent, not your fame, not your social media following, not how attractive you are, none of that. As long as you can physically get on stage and perform and do it well, you can have a music career performing. I'm talking about talent. I want you to meet my friend Mark. Mark does like 400 shows a year. This guy is so ambitious. He makes six figures. He's a six-figure musician. So I'm here to show you guys you don't have to be like 21 years old. He is killing it. He's killing it more than most, young people in their 20s and 30s. He is just very, very always positive, energetic personality. I've never heard him make excuses or say that it's hard because of his age. When he first started out, his first year, he only made $35K, but I was thinking, hey, that's great. He's like, I only made $35K. I'm like, that's not bad. His first year, and quickly over the years moved into making six figures as he polished up his talent, polished up his booking technique. Now, I bet you think you have to be super duper talented. Now, you do have to have talent, but you don't have to be the best musician or singer. In fact, most musicians that I know who are successfully making a living are not the most talented people I know. There's no correlation there, guys. The only difference is that they were focused, motivated, and treated their career like a business, which equals success. That is a difference. Most artists are just like, I'm just going to sit here and play my guitar by this fire. And that's not gonna, that's going to be fun, but that's not going to get you gigs, guys. You got to treat it like a business. Now, I also bet that you think that you have to look a certain type of way. We've kind of got it all in our heads that we have to look like these celebrities that we see on TV and be all, they have plastic surgery and fake extensions or big muscles or all this money to spend on clothing or whatever it is. Now, that's great if you're wanting to be famous and you're wanting to be a celebrity. But remember, I'm here teaching you how a normal person who has talent can build a career off of their ability to perform, not how they look. And what's going to be more important is that you bring value to these establishments. They're not going to care if you look like Hunchback of Notre Dame. If every time you perform there are people that are staying there, spending money at their bar or spending money, ordering food, hanging out, dancing, enjoying themselves, they're not going to care what you look like. And, I'm about to share something with you guys, and I have not shared this picture with anybody. And I can't even believe I'm about to share it with you guys, but I just want to because I think it's really important that you see this because people are so concerned about, how they look. And I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of the people that I work with are not these like attractive, stereotypes at all. They're just normal, average human beings. Now, I am very pregnant, and I am not wearing cute little dresses, and I am not, I'm tired and I'm exhausted, and sometimes I don't feel like doing my hair and my makeup, and and I'm big. I'm wearing a back brace. I'm sitting at a piano wearing a back brace as I perform, guys. It's not this stereotype of what you would normally see, like it's something you'd see on TV. But you know what? People love to hang out with me. They're there because of my talent. I'm getting booked still all over the country. In fact, I'm about to leave in a week. And I'm traveling. The people are flying me out, paying me good money to entertain crowds. And none of these people know me. Again, they don't know who I am. They are not my Instagram friends. They're not my Facebook friends. They've just heard from other venues that I know how to entertain a crowd, that I know how to make a crowd have fun, spend money, stick around. They're not going to leave because they're bored. I have worked my butt off to be good at what I do. And some of you guys have worked your butts off too. And you deserve to have that opportunity to go out there and prove yourself based on your talent, nothing else, nothing superficial, not the way you look, not who your mommy and daddy are, none of that stuff. I'm telling you right now that there is an even playing field in that. If you have the talent, then you actually have the advantage. And I'm just showing you a picture of me because right now, no one is booking me because of the way I look. Not a single human being. And I am playing and headlining, and I am performing at big casinos. I told you I'm getting flown out for corporate gigs. The corporate gig that I'm getting flying out for next week, they're paying me thousands of dollars to play. And I'm going to sit at a piano in my back brace and my maternity dress. And people are going to enjoy it based off of my talent. And you can do that too. I bet you think you have to have a degree. Now, in college, they teach you about performance. I do think that that is great that they teach you about that, but they don't teach you how to make a living. I have students that went to college and then come to me and go, I don't know how to make a living. I'm like, what? So I get contacted by musicians with fancy degrees about helping them to book gigs all the time. They don't teach this stuff in college. How can you learn from a teacher? A teacher went to college, learned how to teach music, and then got a job at a college. They didn't tour. Unless somebody's toured and booked gigs and done all that stuff, they can't teach you how to do something that they don't even know how to do. So that's the difference. They could try. Maybe they could read from a book and teach you how to do it. The way that I teach is because I actually did it and I still do it. Like there's a very big difference. And it's very important that you have the right person that shows you and mentors you on how to do it. Now, there are many secrets in the industry. Okay, secret number 1 is venues around the world need good talent like you and are desperate for it. Can you believe that? And they're willing to pay good money. Secret number 2 is you can support yourself completely off of performing music. And secret number 3 is there's demand for great live music and a shortage of musicians to fill that demand. People don't know this. People think that there's a shortage of places to book you. No. There's just not a lot of really great performers. The reason why most musicians are not successful is not because of a lack of opportunities, but because musicians fail to treat their dreams like a business. Instead, they treat it more like a hobby. How many songwriters and producers do I have in this webinar? Hey, Charlie. All right. Okay. I got creative people in this webinar. I love that. I want you to meet my friend. His name is Alex Sugarman. He has a music degree from Musicians Institute in Hollywood. He came to me. He had $80,000 in tuition fees. Oh my God. Can you believe this? He had burned through all of his savings. He had nothing. He wanted to write music and produce, but needed to be able to make money now and didn't know how. Now he sings and plays the saxophone. How many of you can relate to this? How many of you want to write music, but you need to make money now and you'd rather work in something music related instead of doing something like waiting tables, like I mentioned before? How many of you are also songwriters or producers, but you need to pay rent now? You'd love to do it performing. This was Alex's story. I worked with him and literally within, I'm talking like 2 weeks, he was touring the world on cruise ships to exotic locations. He makes a living doing music, and being able to pay his bills performing gave him freedom to write music and recently became an ongoing music creator for the popular show Ellen. He was going to have to go back home. He called me and was like, I think I'm going to have to go back home. I'm not making any money, Chris. And I was able to get him booked on these contracts for cruise ships. So he was able to go have some amazing fun, write music, and still pursue his goals as a music producer and what he wanted to do as an artist. He performed recently with Camila Cabello on Latin Music Awards. Here's a testimony. I want you guys to hear him, okay? Because this is pretty cool. Get this to work. Why isn't this working? There we go.
I'm here in the Dominican Republic, and Christine's Starving Musicians Guide brought me right here, playing saxophone all over the world with my own band, Sweet Spot. Woo!
I love this. I love this because I didn't just get him there. You saw his band. There's 4 of them. There's a drummer, a bass player, and a guitar player. They all got to go. So this was 4 people that I got to just show them that life is pretty amazing when you have talent and you can treat it like a business and you work towards it. Now, they've been all over the place. He's been like probably 15 countries just last year. Now, how cool is that? Would you feel accomplished if you could say the same thing? If while you wrote your own music, produced your own music, you could fund your own projects with your own money that you made from your own performances. And that means freedom to do what you want and how you want it. Wouldn't that be amazing? So secret number 2, venues around the world need performers like you. You can get paid to travel and perform. What? Venues have great budgets for musicians, performers, bands, and DJs alike. For the ones that are professional, that treat this like a business. And they're always searching for great entertainment because it is very hard to find. You might feel desperate to find gigs, but these venues are desperate to find good talent. If you have the talent, they have the money for you. But not only do you have to have the talent, you have to have a few other elements that I'm going to go over and show you guys how to put together for you to get booked. Because it's not just about talent alone. Talent makes up probably like 10% of it, guys. It's such a small percentage. You know, you do have to have the talent, but there's so much more to it. Now, have you also believed that you had to know someone in the industry to be successful? I did this too. I believed in this, and because of this, I felt like completely hopeless. I'm like, I do not know, anybody. I told you where I grew up, I knew a bunch of farmers. I knew a bunch of farmers' kids as well. That was it. I lived next to a big cheese factory. Like, that was my life. Okay, so this belief is false, though. You don't have to know anybody, okay? Secret number 3, you can support yourself completely off of performing music. Performing can be your only job and you can make plenty of money. I've done music full time, sometimes making more than 6 figures a year for the last 6 years. Now, you might be thinking, but I can't support my family off of music. Okay, this is a big one. People are like, I can't make it. Maybe I'd make enough money for me, but what about the people that I love? I want you to meet Sam Kiles. Sam Kiles is a singer and guitarist. He says, I support my family from performing and doing what I love. Then I get to go home to the family that I love. Life is good. He's married. He has a beautiful baby boy. He would rather not tour and would rather be home with his family. He is not well known online and is not famous. You can look him up if you want. He is neither one of those. He plays mostly local restaurants. He gets private gigs because of it, and he makes additional money because of private gigs, which I'll talk about a little later. He consistently works and supports his family along with his newborn baby. Isn't his baby super cute? Oh my God, look at him. He's so adorable. Solely off of performing music. So let's talk about this. What is different about my program? My program skips all the extra stuff you don't need to learn and gets straight to the key points to get you performing and getting paid quickly. And this is what I don't like about some of these college programs. They teach you all this extra stuff that you don't need to know. And you're like, yo, I don't have like thousands of years. I want to get right to performing. And this is what I do. I skip all that extra stuff. So I teach you how to get paid gigs anywhere in the world where there is live music, anywhere. And you'll learn from someone who is actually doing it. Now, I've had a lot of success. I love these little Bitmojis, right? Aren't they cool? But I've made a lot of mistakes. I believe that I had to do things the hard way. So I'm going to cover all these things that I believed I performed. I believed that I had to perform for free as much as I could and that somebody would discover me, and I performed solely for exposure, and it's depressing. I believe that if I recorded every day and posted tons of songs on YouTube and social media that people would call me to book me. I believe that if I wrote my own songs, I could get paid right away and make money. And I also believe that I had to work another job that I hated so that I could pay the bills in the meantime. Now, for me, like I said, I didn't go and get like a crappy job, like working somewhere for somebody, but I was selling my music on the streets. And I was like, I'm just going to sell my music on the streets until I get famous. I didn't know that I didn't have to get famous. I didn't know that I didn't have to be on the streets in the heat and the blistering cold. All of this was just really disheartening. It was really, this struggle was very difficult, but there is an easier way. None of the things I believed were even true. And once I didn't accept them anymore, and I decided to do things on my terms, my whole life changed. I went from a starving musician to a thriving musician. I also have explored the world because of music and have had some of the most amazing experiences. And I want to show you some of those things that I've done because I want you to get a picture in your head. You saw the little pig. You saw the little car that I had. You saw me on the little piano. Where I started and where I have gone is just unbelievable. This was on a tour. I went to the Grand Canyon. It was just amazing. This was me in Bora Bora on the cruise ships. This was me in Tahiti. This was me in a private condo while performing in Mexico. This was me in Palm Springs. And this is what I'm talking about. You get like lots of really cool perks. I got to stay on this cool resort and just hang out. I mean, this place was just gorgeous. Got to hang out all day and then perform at night. This was me in Australia, hanging out with kangaroos. I was going on like helicopter rides. I was doing all kinds of cool stuff. I call these incredible trips a paycation. It means when you're paid to go on vacation. That's cool. People usually have to pay to go on vacation. You're going to get paid. It's called a paycation. The amazing thing was I got to a point where I could book shows anywhere I wanted to travel to, and I was earning enough money where I could travel even without booking the show. So I'm talking about like, yes, you can make money doing shows and traveling everywhere, but what if you just wanted to go places and you didn't want to work? Okay, so then I started doing that too because I was making good money. I could do that now. I went to Paris. This was me in Italy. Oh my God, Venice was incredible. This was me at Rome. I could now choose my own schedule, so I took time off to travel whenever I wanted. That's the thing. I mean, freedom. Freedom is like, to me, is the most valuable thing of all things. To not have to go to ask your boss for the, your 1 week off that you get a year. That is terrible. Most people work jobs where they get 1 week off a year. That is not a life to live, and I got to be able to take time whenever I wanted. I went to Scotland. This was me in Scotland. I mean, that just looks unreal to me. This was me in South America. I began doing a lot more charity. And this was one thing that I am just so, so proud of and just so fulfilled. This was me in Oklahoma City with a bunch of kids. Nashville, Dallas. And these are places, they didn't have money. They didn't pay me, okay? I did this all for free. I traveled to all these places on my own dime. I paid for it. Because of the feeling that I get and the difference that I was making, I wanted these children to hear my story and I wanted them to know that they didn't have to have the same future as some of their parents or some of the people that they knew. I wanted to show them that I come from a lot of the same stuff, the same poverty, the same issues that they had. And it was just incredible. And I began doing more international charity too. So here's me in Thailand. These are special education students. And whenever I was there, I would also go do fun stuff. I also had money to go hang out with elephants at a refugee camp. I went to Peru. This was at Machu Picchu, one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. This was me in India. This was probably my favorite place I ever visited. This was a little orphanage. Just incredible little kids that I got to play for. I was there for a few weeks and just completely changed my life. And then on the weekends, I would go do cool stuff, like go check out the Taj Mahal. Like, this is just, to me, I'm like, I can't believe that I've done all this stuff. I went to South Africa. This was me at a school. A lot of these kids, I mean, a lot of them didn't have parents. Some of them were products of rape, or some of them had HIV. I mean, it was really, you heard all these stories for these children. To be there to be able to provide music for them. And they didn't have budgets. They couldn't pay someone to come in. So I paid to go out there myself and play for these kids. This was super fulfilling. I'm talking to you guys about living a life that you love, making money, and having purpose. You could do anything that you want with music. While I was there, I would go to South Africa. While I was in South Africa, I pet lions. I went to like a lion park. I saw giraffes. I mean, it was really cool. I've gotten to experience things that are priceless. This was one of the coolest things that I did. I sang the national anthem at the LA Dodgers game, and I've sang the national anthem in some pretty cool places, but this one was, I mean, absolutely amazing. This was from the TV broadcast, and I got to go out on the field and everything. They gave me this cool Dodgers jersey. I mean, it was just insane. I've performed for NFL events, and guys, you know how this happened? I was literally performing in a hotel lobby. There was maybe like, not even a hotel lobby, I'm sorry, a restaurant. There were like 6 people there. But when you're performing a lot, you just network and you meet people, and somebody there happened to be a booking person, and they booked me annually. And one of the years I got to be RG3 and Russell Wilson, which were really, really cool. He actually sat with me and sang Ray Charles, Georgia. It was really, really amazing. I've gotten to do some really cool stuff. I experienced a life that most people dream about, all because I made a choice. I chose to follow my dream of performing music, even though everyone said I was crazy for it. Now, I made that choice, and I truly believe that that is the difference between those who live an exciting life and adventure and ones who don't. Now, you have to make your choice. Are you going to live a life like everyone says you're supposed to live it? Or will you take a chance on yourself and your dreams? You have to have a plan. Just because you're good doesn't mean you're going to be successful. How many talented people have you seen performing on the streets? I mean, that's just a testament to show that it doesn't matter how talented you are. If you don't have a plan, it's not going to work. If you have a following online, that doesn't mean you're going to be successful either. I have a friend, and I'm not going to mention who it is, but she has 200 million plays on YouTube. I'm talking 200 million. She is like YouTube princess of the world. And she doesn't have a job in music. She works for another company. You have to have a plan. Let's say you have the best cookie recipe in the world, but if you don't know how to package it, if you don't know how to get it into the store, you don't know how to market it, you'll never sell a single cookie. And no one will ever know how awesome the cookie is, and you'll make no money. You can tell that I love sugar. This is the example that I use is a chocolate chip cookie. But it's true. You could be the best cookie in the world, but if you're not on a shelf, if you're not in the right packaging, if you don't have the right distribution, no one's going to buy the cookie. So you have to have a plan. Now, how many of you, again, have wondered where to begin? And that was me. Oh my gosh, I just had no idea. It was so frustrating. And that's exactly how I felt. I knew I wanted to do music for a living, and I knew that it was my passion, but I had no clue how to make it happen. Now, I believed if I was good, the gigs would start rolling in. I talked about it earlier, and we're going to really, really talk about this because this is so important. I thought as long as I was a good musician, I would get gigs. Now, this is important to be talented once again. You have to be at least be a little talented for people to want to hire you, but the most important thing is that you have a plan. Now, I got to a point where I desperately needed to figure my life out. I had moved to Los Angeles. I was taking odd jobs I'd found online. I was running out of money, and I was $20,000 in credit card debt. I lived in a kitchen for 4 months. I rented a space I found online and was literally sleeping in a kitchen in a stranger's home. My bed, which was more like a cot, was a few feet away from the refrigerator, and this parrot, this dang loud parrot who wouldn't stop screaming all the time. I hit rock bottom and I ran out of money. I went and got a gym membership so I could have a place to shower. I cleaned out my car and I started figuring out which neighborhoods I could park safely to sleep. And this is actually a picture of me in my car at one point. This is the only picture that I could find. But I had just played a gig, so I had my nice little shirt on. And don't be fooled, I bought this shirt for like $7. I had slept outside of a Chevron gas station, and I bathed in their outdoor bathroom. It was one of those where you had to like ask for the key to get in because it wasn't indoors, it was outdoors. I had eaten at In-N-Out Burger. You can see it right there. And I got sick the whole night because of their secret sauce. If you've ever eaten their secret sauce, I hate it. People love it, but it makes me sick. And I ate that night, and it was just god-awful terrible. I was already sleeping in my car. I had blankets on my windows so that people couldn't see in. And, it was terrible. I bathed in the sink. That's how I bathed. But I played a gig the next afternoon off of virtually no sleep. This is just one of those pictures that I wanted to share with you guys. I knew there had to be a better way. Okay? I just knew. And I was determined to figure it out. I was determined I could live my dream, just like you guys are. That's why you're here. You're determined. So I began to create my evil plan. And just like the cookie recipe example I gave you, I knew I had the musical recipe. I was great at what I did, but I needed to package myself the right way, market myself, and get to booking gigs now, not later. Not later, guys. Now. If I could just execute the right steps in order, I knew I could do it. It was just a matter of figuring it out. It takes steps. I started executing the steps of my plan that I made and working on it right away, diligently. I didn't have much time before I would be just completely homeless in LA, and I was so tired of struggling. My soul was tired. My body was tired. My mind was tired. And something miraculous happened. I booked my first ongoing gig at a hotel in Hollywood, and I ended up making $60,000 that year from that gig alone. I got more gigs from performing there. I gained more performance skills, and I never stopped performing since that day. Everything fell into place, and I say fell into place, it didn't really fall into place. I mean, I had to really structure it and put a plan and execute that plan. But after I took my career into my own hands, my mind was blown. I could finally call myself a professional musician. I was doing what I loved for a living. I could buy myself pianos and equipment that I wanted. I could help take care of my loved ones. I loved going to my job. I was free of worry about how I was going to pay bills. I mean, this alone, guys, is probably one of the most valuable things, to just not have to worry. Like, that was just the hardest thing for me. So to be able to get rid of that, I was so thankful for that. I could fund my own projects and albums of original music, and I was making money from my passion, from what I loved. It was so, so fulfilling. Now, how did I convince a venue to hire me to perform if they didn't know who I was? If I didn't have a huge social media, nobody knew me. So how did I entertain a crowd that did not know me either, or even care really? How did I entertain a group of complete strangers so well that a venue would be happy to pay me? I'm going to tell you guys right now, I created a 3-step hit the stage method to book paid shows, even if no one knows who you are, even cares who you are. Again, this goes back to the fact that you don't have to have a social media following. You don't have to have a manager. You don't have to have a record label. Nobody in the room has to even know who you are. You can entertain this crowd. You can convince a venue to hire you. There's this whole other world out there that people don't know about. And I'm here to talk to you guys about it. I'm going to show you how I did it. So don't go anywhere after this tutorial, guys, because remember, I'm going to be giving you a download link for your free email template that you can just copy and paste. That tells you exactly what to email to booking agents and venues to get them to want to book you. I've done all the work for you. All you're going to have to do is copy and paste this email, fill out a couple little things inside of there. You can email it to agents and venues and places that you're wanting to perform. And they're going to get interested in booking you. And I'm going to show you exactly what you have to include in that email and just absolutely everything for you so that you don't have to do any of the guessing work. I'll also be giving you a special offer to work directly with me. All right, guys, can I show you guys how I booked my first gig? I want you to put yes in the chat box if you are ready. Put yes. Say, I'm ready to go. All right, singer boy, I see you. I am so stoked. I'm going to show you guys my 3-step method on how you can book shows, no matter where you are, even if you are a beginner. All right, I see you, Hannah J. I see that you got your pen and paper. Yes, put yes in that box if you're ready to go, guys. I'm about to show you guys how I booked my first gig. All right, I see you, New York fan. We're going to do this. We're about to do this. Let's go. Okay, so first we're going to talk about my 3-step hit the stage method. Now, this works whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate, whether you're advanced. There are 3 crucial steps that you need to take for you to get booked. Okay, so let's start. These are the 3 things that we're going to cover. First, you have to put together your show. 2, you have to create your promotional material. And 3, you have to find venues that will pay you and contact them. Now, it's okay if you don't know how to do any of these things because I'm going to cover generally how to do all of this stuff in a nutshell. So first, we're going to put together your show. That's what you need to focus on. Now, first, the best way to entertain a crowd that does not know you is to perform cover songs. Cover songs are popular songs by other artists. Now, this works whether you are a singer or an instrumentalist, whether you're a band, it doesn't matter. Now, I am an artist myself. I write and produce music, but it takes time to build a fan base and a demand for your original music. It's not profitable until you have a fan base willing to buy your music or pay for tickets to your show. So you can absolutely make money doing original music, but most venues won't pay you to do it unless you are selling tickets, bringing in a large paying crowd, or are famous. And that's not what I'm teaching today. I'm here to show you how someone who is not well known, is not famous on social media, has no manager or record deal can make money now performing. I am here to teach the quickest way to making money performing, and that is through performing cover songs. So first, you need to decide what kind of music you'll sing. So whether you are going to be doing rock, pop, jazz, Motown, whatever it is, you need to find something that is going to be, popular, that that people are going to like. You're going to decide whether you'll be a solo act, a duo, or a multiple person band. You need to put together an awesome repertoire of those popular songs that you would like to perform. And you need to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse to make sure that you got it down. So you got to perfect that show and make sure that you've just really made it to where it's going to be entertaining. You're going to be singing great songs and people are going to love you. Step 2, you're going to create a promotional package. And what you do in your promotional package is you create an awesome video of performing a few minutes of popular songs. So, your video doesn't need to be longer than 3 minutes, guys, to be completely honest. You don't want to send too much stuff. So you want to send a video of you performing a few different popular songs. Keep it pretty short and sweet. You want to get great looking photos of you and or your band. Oh, those are my dogs barking right there. You want to get great looking photos of you and your band. If you have a band, if you're just a solo act, you want to just get great photos of you so you can look professional. So you look like you mean business. You don't want to be sending selfies and that sort of thing. That's going to make you stand out from other musicians because a lot of other musicians don't have anything that looks good. And you'll be very surprised. You can take really great photos with your phone. A lot of the photos that I've used for my professional packages, I've actually just taken with my cell phone. So you're also going to want to create a short bio and a description of your band so people know what to expect from your performance and some interesting things about your background. You want to get them interested in you. Now, step 3, we're going to find venues that pay, that have budgets, and you're going to submit yourself to those venues. This is the third and final step, and I'm going to actually go over how to do that. Right now, I'm going to show you how to find these venues that will pay you and have budgets. This is the one thing that I'm going to just blow your mind with on how easy this can be to use this one free tool. And there are many ways to do this, but this is just one free tool to do it. So I'm also going to talk to you about what questions to ask and how to submit yourself to get considered. And remember, guys, by the end of this tutorial, don't go anywhere. The end of this whole webinar, I'm going to give you a free email template and you're going to be able to copy that email template. And right now I'm going to show you how to find the venues. And once you get that email template, you just copy and paste that and you fill in the blanks and you're able to send it to these venues that you find and get them interested in booking you. All right. So first we're going to start off with this free tool. It's called Yelp. You've probably heard of it. And you can use this type of site. You can use basically any type of site where you can look up restaurants, venues, hotels. I mean, there's lots of them out there, guys. So if you don't prefer Yelp, you can try some other ones. I just like to use Yelp because it's really easy. Depending on where you are around the world, this may or not be popular. So you can find any other similar sites where you can look up and rate places. Now, Yelp, usually I look it up to find like good restaurants when I'm going to a new place to visit. But you can also find places that have live music. So this is what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to tell you guys what not to look up. Okay. What we're not going to look up is venues with live music. Now that seems like, why wouldn't I look up venues with live music? Isn't that what I'm looking for? I'm going to show you why. If you put this in, you're going to get huge venues. And these are places that are like really awesome. But they're big places that like Hotel Cafe, for example. People that perform at Hotel Cafe usually have to sell tickets. They have to guarantee that the bar is going to make so much money, or they're famous, so they already know that a big crowd is coming through. You're going to get stuff like that. You're going to get in any type of place like El Rey Theater. Like this is huge. Like 1,000 people fit in this place. If you are just a brand new upcoming band, why would someone pay you to perform there unless you promise that you're going to bring in, like 1,000 people or 300 people or whatever it is? And that's not why I did this tutorial. Again, I'm doing this to show you guys how somebody who has no following, is not famous, doesn't have a big social media following or manager or record deal can make a living. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to look up what to look up. You're going to look up stuff like this: bars with live music, for example, resorts with live music. And get creative. Hotels with live music, restaurants with live music. These are really great. Breweries with live music, wineries with live music. I mean, it's going to go on and on and on. You're just going to keep on doing that. Casinos with live music. I mean, you're going to be able to find, let's say you're a pianist, you might want to look up like Piano Lounge, or, if you're playing a guitarist, if you're a guitarist, you might want to put, like restaurant with singing guitarist, or I mean, you can just try so many things. All right. So this is what you'll look up. You're going to put like bar with live music. So we're going to look up here and we're going to see what pops up. So what's going to happen is you're going to have all these different places. Look, Underground Bar Spot, the Love Song Bar. You're going to have different things that pop up, and you can go through them and see, like a Simple Bar. I've actually played there. This is a small bar, and what you're going to do is you're going to write down all of these places. The write-off room, look, they have live music. I went on a Friday. I mean, this is cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to find, let's say you wanted to do a Simple Bar, okay? And you're going to make a list. I would recommend doing this on a separate document, and you're going to write down, I'll usually just copy and paste their phone number. I'll put a Simple Bar and I'll put their phone number, okay? And we're going to make a list of as many as we can. So the write-off room, we're going to do that as well. So we can copy this. Let's write it down. If I were you, and when I do this, I literally write down every single place, and I just make sure that I read in here that it does have live music, like this says it does, live music. And so I'll write it down, and I'll make a huge list, and I will just call every single place, and I'm going to get to that and how to do that here in just a second. But first, you can do this any place. Let's say you're doing Sydney, Australia. You can do like restaurants with live music. And you're going to have all of this. Look, I was surprised to hear live music. So you can read in their little description that these places have live music, and these are more places to call. So depending on, if you were traveling to this place, you could look up places to gig. Or if you live there, you can look up places to gig in your hometown. So Yelp is a really great, easy tool for you to be able to do that. And depending on what type of band you are or whatever, I would also look up, like, let's say bar with, jazz music, or, bar with rock band, specifically, because then you can kind of narrow it down and find places that are specific to what you have to offer. So I would do that. So you're gonna look up venues, then you're gonna make your list. Then we're gonna reach out to them, okay? Oops, let's do this. You're going to reach out to them. Now, I don't want you guys to go anywhere. I'm going to talk to you guys about how to call them and everything. But, at the end of this webinar, I'm going to be giving you an email template. And in this email template, I'm going to show you how you just copy and paste this. And this is how you send it out to these venues that we're looking up. And you're going to get them interested in booking you. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to include, the exact type of wording, what I've used to book thousands and thousands of gigs. So what you're going to do is you're going to start calling them. And you're going to ask a few different kinds of questions. So first, you're going to find out who does the booking. Now, this can range. This can be like a booking agent. This can be the bar manager. Sometimes someone simple like, the person who's, the head chef also does the booking. I mean, you have to find out. There's not a standard person. They might even be booked by an agency. So you might have to reach out to their agency. Every single place is going to be different. So you're going to need to find out who does the booking, get their contact number and email. Email is usually a little easier since sometimes people that are in the restaurant business are busy, or if they're in a bar or hotel, casino, whatever, they're usually busy. So it's good to get an email, but try to get both. The more ways that you can contact these people, the better that they hear from you. So you're also going to ask them, what kind of entertainment do they book? So let's say they just are a jazz bar and you are a rock band. So you can at least eliminate that. You can take them off your list and be like, nope, didn't work. And I'll usually write that down. Like on my list, I'll be like, only books jazz. And if I'm not a jazz musician, so that's not a place for me. But if you are a jazz musician, then it's perfect. It's like, all right, perfect. I'm going to submit myself there. So you're going to find out what kind of entertainment do they book. Maybe they only book bands. Maybe they book solo artists. And depending on what kind of artist you are, or musician or band you are, you'll know whether to submit yourself or not. You do want to find out a couple other things too. You want to find out if you need to, what kind of equipment do you need to provide? You're going to find out, how much do they pay? And then you're going to reach out to them. Now, when you reach out to them, and this is like your follow-up email, is what I mean by that. That's when you're going to take this email template that I'm going to give you at the end of this webinar that you're going to download for free, and you're just going to input your information. It's basically copy and paste, and you're able to put in your information and customize it so that it's yours. So you're going to take that email and you're going to email them, and then you're going to follow up with them afterwards. And that can either be with email and or a phone call. And at that point, you can just see what they thought. You're going to already have your promotional material sent to them, at like just the 3 steps that I told you guys about earlier. You're going to have sent them a video. You're going to have sent them your photos. You're going to ask them what they think. You're going to offer, whether you need to go in and do a live audition, like maybe they want to actually see you in person. And you're just going to find out if there's an interest there. And I'll tell you, if you go in and you make an effort, these people usually, as long as you're talented, eventually will hire you. And don't get discouraged, guys, because sometimes maybe they just don't have any openings. Sometimes it's not anything to take personal. Sometimes maybe they just already have their Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays booked up. But if you go in and you audition and you leave your card and you can say, hey, I'll check in with you, every couple of weeks and see if anything opens up. I can't tell you how many times I've been called because, hey, a band got sick, a singer got sick or whatever. We need someone last minute. And they'll remember that I was there performing, and they'll call me right away because they don't want to go out and do a ton of work trying to find somebody. They'll call me because they already know that I'm good and they already know that I'm willing to go in and perform and everything. So it just makes it really, really easy. That's basically everything in a nutshell. That's basically how to do everything, within what I did that in like 10 minutes or so. That's how you start from whether you're a beginner or you're advanced. Every single person needs to do this, and you'll be able to get gigs upon gigs upon gigs. And a lot of people don't do this, and that's what's going to separate you. Because you imagine if there's a cool venue where you want to perform, there's probably 100 other musicians that are applying to go there. How are you going to get the job? Well, you're going to get the job by making yourself look professional and making yourself look like you take this seriously. Because even though art, music is an art and it's fun, you still are providing a business and a service. So you need to treat it like a business, and they'll treat you more professionally and seriously and consider hiring you the more that you look like you mean business. All right, guys, can I ask you a question? Do some of you feel like this right now? Like, whoa, that was just so much stuff. Oh my God, how do I take it all in? The past hour, the stuff has been pretty cool so far, right? Now, I can't cover everything that you need in an hour webinar. I mean, even if we had all day, I couldn't cover it all, okay? Because there's so many really amazing opportunities out there for you. How would you like to work with me directly, and I can help you implement what we just covered? I have a special offer so you can get everything you need to know for a special deal. Is it okay with you guys if I share with you what's inside my program? Please tell me yes. Say, yes, Christine, I'm ready. I want to know. Guys, I just wish somebody had offered me this when I started out. They would, 8 years of struggling. 8 years, I felt like I was in school. All right, I see you guys. You're ready. I see all the yeses. Thank you guys so much. You know what kind of people go to school for 8 years? They're called doctors. They're called doctors. I had to go to school basically for 8 years, but I went to the school of the real world, and I figured it out, and I'm about to just offer you guys this just amazing opportunity. So thank you guys so much for sharing your enthusiasm. You guys keep me pumped up too. Guys, I've created a whole system, okay? I created a Booking Pro system. And there's all these amazing things inside of it. And I'm going to cover everything that I cover, okay? So I cover how to set up a national tour on a budget. Now I'm going to teach you what you should charge. There's another $97 value. How to negotiate free perks. So how do you get free food, free drinks, hotel rooms, etc. It's $97 value. How to book other artists for limitless money-making potential. I mean, you can make a ton of money doing this, guys. This is a $997 value. I have a friend who started out as a piano player. He has his own plane now from booking artists. I mean, you can really, really do some amazing things. I teach you exactly how to do it. I teach you how to book gigs using Instagram, another $997 value. How to advertise yourself online, another $997 value. How to get musicians to give you their gigs. How do you do that? I'll show you exactly how, $997 value. How to put together a band anywhere in the world. And this is without you spending money, okay? So you can put together, if you wanted to go perform in Indonesia, you want to go perform in China, whatever, it's easy. You can put together a band. This is a $997 value. I teach you how to get a booking agent. I teach you how to book yourself around the world. There's so many different tools. I showed you one tool, but there are many more. I teach you how to book yourself on cruise ships. This is another $997 value. This is one of my favorite things, guys, because on cruise ships, they fly you to the boat. It doesn't matter where you are. They'll fly you there. they cover that. They cover your plane. They cover all that stuff. They cover your lodging. They cover your food. So again, if you're, you could be in the middle of Africa. If you can get to an airport, they will pay you to come out and perform on these cruise ships, and you get to see some amazing places. This is everything that you get, guys. How I set up my national tour on a budget, what should I charge, how to negotiate free perks, how to book other artists for limitless money making potential, how to book gigs using Instagram, how to advertise yourself online, how to get referrals from other musicians, how to put together a band anywhere in the world, how to find a booking agent, how to book yourself around the world, and how to book yourself on cruise ships. Guys, all of this is more than a $9,000 value. Now, I had two choices. I had a first option. I could go cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible. Now, if I had done this, I wouldn't really be able to put in the time to really serve you. So I had a second option, which requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to guarantee your success. I wanted to be able to give you more individual attention and make sure that you're successful at this, guys. I don't want anybody coming through my program and be like, it didn't work for me. No, I'm giving you all the tools that you need to make this happen. Now, here's DJ Ravi. I have a degree in a field that I dreaded working in every day. I secretly wanted to be in entertainment, but I thought you couldn't make money at it. I was so excited to find out I was wrong. I got my first paid gig within a month. I quit my day job and have been DJing every day since. Her day job she was some sort of ear specialist. She was checking people's ears and make sure their hearing was okay. She was only making $100 a day, even though she had a degree. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you went to school I'm like, that sounds like a hard degree to get. Like, you had to really know what you were doing. And she's making more money and doing what she loves now and has tons of freedom. So that is your Booking Pro full program, guys. I teach you everything from booking all over the world, cruise ships, resorts, hotels, casinos, how to just make so much money and how to just experience a life worth living, doing what you love. That is the most important thing. Having freedom, being able to do something that you don't dread, going to every day. The total value of this is more than $9,000. But I'm going to be giving you a couple bonuses, like I mentioned. You're getting the booking email template today, but you're also getting a performance contract. So that's something else that I'm going to throw in. Normally, if you paid a lawyer for this, lawyers are expensive, okay? They charge you a few $100s an hour for a cheap one. And I'm going to give you a performance contract where you can literally just go in there and you just like fill in a couple things like your name and that sort of thing, but you can copy and paste this whole thing. So whenever you book gigs and you need someone to sign a contract for you, you want to make sure that they're going to pay you. So let's say whenever you book gigs and you want someone to come in and you got to make sure that you do your paperwork correctly. All you have to do is copy and paste this contract. Super simple. I'm also going to be giving you my Starving Musicians book that I wrote. This is going to be done in about a month. It's going to go right straight to you whenever you purchase this. And this is a great reference book because this is something that you can actually, be able to open in your computer and go back to it. It's going to have even more resources, even more information, also more stories about how I overcame really, big hurdles in my life to be able to make, doing music for a living actually happen. So this is a really, really great reference book that you guys are going to get. I'm also going to be giving you a private membership to the private Facebook group. This is normally almost $200 a year. This is a great place to network with other musicians like yourself and myself. I'm in there. I'm reading every message. We just have so many different ways that we're going to be able to communicate. And this is once you can meet other people like yourself. Everyone is so different. Different people are finding success in different ways because everyone's career is different. So it's really great that we can create an environment where we can support each other and network. So this is another really great resource that I also offer, and it comes as a bonus. So what you're going to get is you're going to get the entire Booking Pro system, more than $9,000 value. You're going to get this bonus of the Starving Musicians Guide book, the bonus number 2 of the booking email template, the bonus number 3 of the private Facebook membership group, and you're going to get the bonus number 4 of the performance contract, guys. So more than $9,000 worth of stuff for you today. That's everything that you're going to get. Those performance contracts, the booking email templates, the private Facebook membership, and the Starving Musicians Guide book. You get an extra $500 in bonuses. So the grand total is $9,772 value. Now, I want to ask you a question. What is it worth to you? What's it worth to you to be able to create a life filled with adventure, fun, music, performances, traveling, getting paid, meeting new people, feeling the rush of being on stage, hearing fans sing along with you, staying on awesome resorts around the world, making your passion your paycheck, and loving what you do for a living? What is that worth to you? 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. Oh. All right. All right. Cindy says she would give a kidney. Oh man, girl, I would have given a kidney too. If somebody could have said, "Hey, you're going to save 8 years of struggling right now and we're going to just make it, happen in just a few months." I would have said, "All right, where do I sign up, please?" Aaron 71 says he'd give 20K. No, 30K. All right. Well, guys, you can see why it's a good deal at $5,000 then. Normally $29.97 for the general public. But today you can get started. Guys, I've listed this at $9.97. $9.97. And you're going to learn everything that I learned in those 8 years. I lost probably, everything that I made, I spent, and all the credit card debt. I wouldn't be surprised if I spent $100,000 on just learning. And for you to be able to come through and learn all of those things from me for only $9.97 is really, really insane. Now, I want you to think about this. If all this did was get you 1 gig a week, okay, and I showed you guys earlier how this would basically make you an extra $10,000 a year for as long as you wanted, for as long as you were performing. If by spending $9.97 you made an extra $10,000 a year every year, would it be worth it for you? Yeah. What if it got you on 1 cruise ship gig a year? Let's just say it got you one, where you got to travel multiple countries and get paid to perform. So let's say once a year on your 1 vacation that you took every year, you went on a few to see some awesome countries and made money. Would that be worth it? Absolutely. Imagine if it got you booked once a year internationally in an amazing place like China, Dubai, Europe, etc., while you get paid to stay in a 5-star resort hotel and perform. Would it be worth it? And put yes in that chat box, guys. I want to see what you guys think about this, because really, if you could just spend $9.97 and know that next year you're going to make an extra $10,000, would it be worth it? Absolutely. Imagine if for as long as you wanted, you could go on, let's say, just 1 cruise ship. Let's say you just booked 1 cruise ship a year where you got to visit multiple countries and go on a paycation instead of a vacation where you're getting paid to go on vacation. Would it be worth $9.97? Absolutely. Or if you just got to visit some really cool place around the world. The traveling, the pay, the getting to do what you love, and all you had to do was make 1 investment. Would it be worth it, guys? One concern I had for my students was, how do I know what to perform? What if the venues don't like my show? So they were like, okay, yeah, I can learn how to book shows, but what if they don't like my show? And this is a good question to ask. So that's why I want to make sure that you guys, again, are successful. And that's why I have another incredible bonus to make sure that you're not going to have to guess what to play. So I want you to answer this. How many of you don't quite know if your performance is good enough to get you gigs? Or you're not sure what songs to sing? Or you don't know what kind of equipment you should use? Or you don't know how to put together a band while spending no money to do so? Now, I know a lot of people that are like, I have no money to put together a band. Guys, you don't need any money. Okay, so how many of you are experiencing any of these things? You're not sure how to put together a good show. This is why I put together this amazing bonus, number 6, Ultimate Performer Pro. I put together a whole other system, guys, that I'm going to give you. I'm going to show you not only how to book gigs, but I'm going to show you how to put together the right show, because this is important. This is important, like I told you guys about in the Hit the Stage method. You have to have the right show on top of it, because let's say you get a good show and they don't like it, they're not going to ask you back. But let's say you go in for one show and you do a kick butt job, they're definitely going to ask you to come back, and they might even give you like a weekly residency and ask you to come back like every Friday or twice a week or 4 times a week or whatever it is. There's so many different possibilities. So in the Ultimate Performer Pro, it includes Entertainer 101, what kind of entertainer can you be, finding the best locations to make the most money, fastest way to get to performing and getting paid now, performing with tracks, how to get backing tracks for free, what equipment do I use, how to make a 1 sheet to promote yourself, my favorite apps for the performing musicians, how to find the perfect musicians for your band, and how to put together a band while spending no money to do so. It also includes how to create the perfect searching for musicians ad, how to produce your own shows, when can I perform my original music, how do I make and sell merchandise, how to advertise yourself online for free or with a budget, what equipment that I use and recommend. So I get into a little bit more about equipment, but how to not spend money on equipment if you don't want to. So I talk about how if you have a budget for equipment, I talk about how, what if you don't have a budget for equipment? I cover all of this. And I also teach you how I booked this one gig that led me to continuously make an additional $6,000 a year off of this one connection alone. This is all the stuff that comes with it. I mean, this is a lot of stuff, guys. Do you see all these things? This is just every possible thing that you would need to be able to put together a show, to be able to put together something that people are going to see and love and want back. If I owned a bar and someone came in and they just were able to entertain this crowd, even though nobody knew them, I would absolutely want them to come back. And I teach you how to do that. And you can go to starvingmusiciansguide.com/sign up, guys. You can go to this link. You can click on the link on the side of this that has popped up, and you can get started now. You're going to get both Ultimate Performer Pro and Booking Pro. This is everything that you need. I'm also going to give you this. I'm going to give you a bonus of sample set lists from multiple genres. Now, these are the songs to play that will make listeners love you and venues ask you to come back and perform. Now, not only do I include my winning set list of songs, but I also share interviews with other successful musicians and their winning set lists too. You're going to have hundreds of songs to choose from that all get your crowd engaged, singing, dancing, and loving your show. I think this is incredibly valuable because you're taking out all the guesswork. I had to jump on stage and perform and many times see people like disappointed for me to learn which songs not to perform. You know, I had to do this for years to be able to put together my like winning set list. And not only that, you're going to get set lists from other musicians that recommend different songs as well. So again, I'm taking away all that guesswork for you. A huge bonus that I'm giving you guys is how to make a promotional booking video. Guys, I will tell you that if out of this entire training, this entire program that you're going to sign up for, the two things that you could get the most help from and gain the most knowledge from is if you learn about set lists, choosing your songs, and how to make a promotional booking video. Those two things will completely change your life. This is probably the most valuable booking tool. I'll teach you how to do it for no money at all or how to do it very inexpensively. Now, this is how I book my gigs currently. I spend virtually no money on my video, but I make thousands of dollars using my booking videos instead of spending thousands of dollars filming them. These are important. They will be a huge determining factor on getting you booked or not. And this will be what gets you gigs internationally and places that you can't physically go to audition or meet people. Like if you want to perform on that cruise ship, you can't, most of you wouldn't have the money to go audition there. Those videos, if they're right and they're done correctly, will get you those contracts. Now, when I did my first promo video, I hired tons of people. I booked venues to shoot. I ended up spending more than $6,000 to shoot it, guys. Guess how many gigs I booked from this video? Guess. 0. I booked 0 gigs. Oh my God, I spent $6,000 and made no money because I had no idea what to do. This bonus alone could possibly save you $6,000 or more, plus your time and your energy. Imagine if you spent 6 months just figuring out how to make the right video. And I will tell you, when I'm booking gigs and I'm looking for musicians and stuff, and I tell people to send me their videos, 99% of them are wrong. And I look at them and I go, I can't do anything with this. And that's why you need somebody to show you exactly how to do it. This is a very expensive mistake to make. It will take your time, it'll take your energy, and it'll take your money. So here you go. You get Ultimate Performer Pro. This is everything that you guys get. Entertainer 101. Finding the best locations. Fastest way to get performing with tracks. How to get backing tracks for free. What equipment to use. How to make a one sheet. My favorite apps for the performing musician. How to find the perfect musicians for your band. How to put together a band while spending no money. How to produce your own shows. When can I perform my own original music? How do I make and sell merchandise? How to advertise yourself online for free or with a budget, what equipment that I use and recommend. Again, I go into more about equipment, how to not spend money on equipment, and how I booked this one gig that led me to continuously make an additional $6,000 a year off of this connection alone. Plus the bonus of the sample set list for multiple genres. These are the songs to play that will make listeners love you and venues ask you to come back. This is an additional almost $7,000 value that I'm throwing in there. This isn't going to always be around. I'm going to be selling these courses separately soon, but right now I'm offering it all together. So you're getting the Booking Pro system and the Ultimate Pro Performer system, total of $16,000 worth of stuff, almost 17 grand worth of stuff for only $9.97, guys. And you can click here, you can go to this website, or you can click on the link on the side, and you can get started today. Not tomorrow, not next week. You can get started today. I'm giving you everything that you need. And again, guys, these are just all the things that I've learned and that I've implemented and just put into my career and how I got started. I'm just going to give you all of those secrets that I learned during those 8 years of learning what not to do and then learning what to do. So I'm going to tell you all of that kind of stuff. Now, I wanted to, again, give more. I wanted to give another incredible music bonus. Can I share with you the last gift that I'll be including in my program? Can I do that, guys? Let me know. Let me know if you want to know what it is, because I am excited to do this. This has been so much fun putting this together because this has just worked out for so many people, and I'm always adding new things. And when you get the membership to this, you constantly have 100% access to all of the new materials that I add on here, as long as you're a member. And when you buy this membership, you will forever be a member. And I'm just stoked because I'm giving you all these tools. So first, I want to know, does the following apply to you? How many of you feel like social media promotion is like another language? How many of you don't even know where to start to build an awesome following? How many of you would love to have an incredible web presence that can potentially get you more gigs? Now, I've told you guys, you don't need it. You can do it completely without it. But I will tell you, if you do have social media, it does not hurt at all. And you can get some really wonderful gigs from it. There's some amazing tools out there that you can use because of social media. And the most wonderful thing about it is it's free. Social media is like a resume. If yours is awesome, venues immediately believe you're probably great at what you do as well. And you will have even more chances of hiring you. And that's why I'm giving you this other bonus. Bonus number 7, Social Media Pro. I'm going to tell you exactly what I put in this amazing program. What is an EPK? How to get a free website, how to get a free photo shoot, apps to make your cell phone pics look professional in case you don't want to hire a professional photographer, how to design your own show flyers quickly and easily so you don't have to hire a graphic designer. You get to save. You don't have to do any of this stuff. I'm sharing with you guys how to save so much money. No, professional photographers, no graphic designers, no videographers. How to create your own logo for free, how to create your own business cards, how to write your own killer biography, I guess it would be autobiography, how to make an Instagram flyer, how to automate your posts. I mean, you could be like swimming, and you could be working out of the gym, and your social media accounts would be posting for you. I teach you Instagram for Musicians 101. I teach you all about it, and how I got 45,000 followers on Instagram. And this one's a really big one because I was able to do it just by using my time. And I teach you exactly how to do it. It's a non-fail method. This will work for anyone that's willing to put in the time once again. And how to get 5,000 real followers on Facebook in 60 seconds. Real followers. These aren't people that you're paying for. It's nothing like that. These are real followers. Total value. $23,000, $261. I'm giving you everything that you need, everything that I've learned, every sacrifice that I made, all the blood, sweat, and tears I put into this program for you guys. I love seeing people succeed, and I love sharing. I love to share. There is plenty to go around, guys. There are just some amazing opportunities around the world to just live this amazing life. And it's all right here. Everything I know is in these 3 things. Ultimate Performer Pro, where you learn how to put together the ultimate show. Booking Pro, where you learn how to book anywhere you want to perform. Like I told you, all these amazing cruise ships, resorts, hotels, casinos, restaurants, lounges, bars, everything in between. And Social Media Pro, where you can learn how to build your social media following. Sometimes we just like having that for our ego boost. I know sometimes I like to post a picture and just see people comment. Sometimes it just makes me feel good. But on top of it, it helps me book gigs. It's a really, really great addition to everything else that you have going on. Now you have two choices. First option, you can do nothing. You can go home, live the same life you lived yesterday. There's no risk, but there's also no possibility for you to change your life into something way more exciting than what you experienced yesterday. The second option, you make an investment into you, into your career, your passion, and your life. You could be performing and making money by next month. Depends on how ambitious you are. Which option is more exciting? The first one, do nothing, go home, or the second option? Do you want to go right back to what you were doing yesterday? Probably not, or you wouldn't have signed up for this webinar. I know for me, I would never want to go back to what I was doing before I became a professional musician. Now, what if I eliminated the risk, the possibility of any risk at all? How could I do that? I do that by offering a money back guarantee. Completely guaranteed. I give you my personal promise that if you sign up today and if you're not satisfied, within 14 days, I will refund your money 100%. A big question to ask is it worth it to take a risk-free chance to check out the program? If my system only does half of what I say it will, this will pay you back within the very first few gigs you book. I mean, guys, you could just book a few gigs and within the first month, it's already paid for itself. And then you have a lifetime of getting to do paid gigs and perform and do something that you love. I want you to take action because 99% of people will continue to struggle and will get the same results of not being happy, not using their musical gift, and not living a life they love. Only 1% will take action. Only 1% is dedicated, focused, and ready. This is the full program, Social Media Pro, Booking Pro, Ultimate Performer Pro. This is everything that you possibly need to start at any place, whether you're a beginner or whether you've been doing this for a while. It doesn't matter. This has everything in there to help you get exactly from where you are to exactly where you want to be making money performing. Now, I am not special. I'm just saying. If a girl from the middle of nowhere in New Mexico with no money, no help, no contacts in the music industry can sing at national anthem major league games, if a girl who was sleeping on friends' couches for 8 years, racking up almost $20,000 worth of credit card debt, can then go straight to making $60,000 her first year performing fun shows and not working a boring 9-to-5 job. If a girl can go from knocking on doors for 8 years in the blistering cold and crazy heat selling her CDs just to make ends meet, to getting offered international contracts globally, then I believe 100% wholeheartedly that anyone else with a bit of talent and focus can do it too. It is my personal promise that this program has everything you need to take your talent and go. I have not hidden anything at all. Everything is there. But I want to make sure that you're 100% successful. And because of this, I'm about to offer one last thing to ensure that this works for you. How exciting is this? Don't you love stuff? Free stuff? I'm like, yay, more free stuff. For signing up on this webinar, you are going to get to join my weekly live Q&A sessions to work with me directly free for 3 months. That means every week for 3 months, you can log on and you can ask me anything about what you're experiencing. If you're having a hard time understanding something or having a hard time, figuring out how to do something, or maybe there was something that I don't cover in the course that you're like, hey, I really have a question about this, I can help you. And I'm on there live. You're able to log on. You're able to see me. We do a video conference. You're able to ask anything that you want. And I stay on there and I answer all the questions. It is very, very important for me to do that. And you get to do this for 3 months. And also for signing up on this webinar, this next bonus will not be offered in the near future. This is very limited time offer because I just won't have the time anymore. I have so many students that I'm only able to do certain things for so long. So this next bonus is really, really incredible. And I love that I'm even able to do this right now because I get so much satisfaction out of this and working with everybody. The first 10 people will get my personal email address. Now, this is priceless. This is priceless because we're able to talk directly. I'm able to walk you through things directly. So not only are you going to get to see me every week on video, I'm able to answer questions from you on email as well. We're able to chat both ways. I mean, you have a lot of access to a mentor that is doing it, someone that's actually doing it, that can walk you through this process and hold your hand. I wish I had somebody to hold my hand through this, all of this. I made tons of mistakes, and that was my teacher. But now you don't have to make all the mistakes that I made. Get started now. You get Ultimate Performer Pro. You get Booking Pro, a $9,000 value. You get Social Media Pro, a $7,000 value almost. You get my personal email, which is priceless. You get weekly live Q&A sessions, 3 months free. This is normally $50 a month, another $150. And you get Ultimate Performer Pro, which is $7,000. Guys, this is so much stuff that you're getting more than $20,000 worth of materials for only $997. Now, information alone won't do it. It's not going to accomplish everything for you. You need accountability, you need structure, and you need organization. And that's why you need me. Having me to help and coach you along is incredibly valuable. I wasted so much time trying to figure it out, and you don't have to do that anymore. You don't even have to think about it. I'm here to help you guys. Money is replenishable. Time is not replenishable. Again, I've told you guys earlier, time is the most important thing. If I could get those 8 years back and be like, okay, you'll actually learn how to do it within a couple months. 8 years versus a couple months. That's a very big difference. You do not have any more time to waste. If you have a normal job, you get money every 2 weeks. Money comes, but you cannot get back your time. And that's why you have to get on this quickly before you have no time left and you wake up wondering, where did my life go? The other option is you have is to not spend the money now and try to figure it out yourself. Okay, some of you are going to choose to do that. But if you're here watching this webinar, you've probably already invested time into your dreams, but haven't gotten the results you wanted. So you're just going to keep doing what you have been doing and getting the same results. And it's just not a good use of your time. Your time should be used to getting good at your shows, getting really mastering your voice or mastering your instrument or putting together your band, whatever it is that you're doing. That should be your focus. You shouldn't have to be worried about all the business stuff. We should be able to knock all that out, and then you're able to move on and get on with all the fun stuff that you love about music, which is performing, getting that rush to stage, getting that adrenaline rush. So I want you to say goodbye, guys. Think about this. Say goodbye to working a boring job you hate, to performing for free or for exposure, to endlessly promoting yourself to get no return, to putting your future in someone else's hands, and to wondering when you'll finally get the break you've been hoping for. Say goodbye to all of that. You get started today for only $997. You get Ultimate Performer Pro, $6,997 value. You also get Booking Pro, which is $9,267 value, guys. Social Media Pro, which is a $6,997 value. And you get these weekly live Q&A sessions. This is one of my favorite things, guys, because, what is more valuable than being able to actually ask questions as you're going through the course? I'm there answering all of your questions, no matter big or small. I'm there to help guide you. And not only that, my personal email address. This is just, like I said, I really wish something like this had been available when I was trying to figure out my life and my music career, because, oh my God, this would have sped it up, and your time is so, so precious, guys. Now, do you want to make money or do you want to make excuses? People can either do one or the other. They can make money or they can make excuses. And you can say why you can't do it this time, or why you don't have time, or why you'll do it later. But you have to decide, which one do you want? Do you want to make money or do you want to make excuses? There is no risk here. I've given you my personal money back guarantee. Again, you look at it, you take a look, you're like, nah, not working for me. I'll give you your money back. But it has everything that you need. I'm here for you. I'm here to give you my time. I'm here for you to give you my experience. And if you want to be a performer for a living, it's time to start making money and getting you on the road to performing now. How would you feel if you were always left wondering, what if I had tried? Could I have succeeded? How would you feel to know that some people, probably half as talented as you are doing this for a living only because they were willing to put in the work? How many of you have experienced that, where you've seen that you're like, oh my God, these people are just not talented. How are they doing it? Well, it's because they deserve it, because they worked their butt off to making it happen. If they don't have the talent, as much talent as you do, but they're making it happen, you have to applaud them for going out there and putting in the effort. How would you feel if that day in the office meant you're performing on a stage rather than sitting at a desk? if you woke up to an ocean in the Mediterranean relaxing all day and then performing at night while making money, and to have complete control of your life and to not have to answer to a boss. That's what I would just love, to not have to ask permission. I don't want to ask permission for anything. I want to be the boss. I want to be my own boss. Now, guys, if you have any questions about financing, I did want to share that PayPal has this amazing opportunity that if you qualify for, they will give you a no interest payment where they will cover it. And if you pay in full within the 6 months, okay, so that's only a little over $100 a month, there's no interest paid on it. So when you click on that link to buy this program, you have the option of signing up for that and trying to use that. And if you qualify for it, you don't even have to pay interest, and they'll cover the whole thing for you. So by the time it's time to pay PayPal, you'll already have made way more money than that doing gigs. That's what's so amazing about this. 6 months, you do not need 6 months. Like I told you, within a couple months, maybe even sooner, depending on how ambitious you are, you could already be performing and doing gigs. So what are you waiting for, guys? The time is now. I want you to get started now for just $9.97 to go sign up again, starvingmusiciansguide.com/sign up, or click on the link and get started, guys. Let's get going. Let's get you on that path. Let's stop, feeling like you can't do it. Stop making up, whatever excuse. I've basically covered most excuses that people are myths that people believe that keep them from becoming exactly who they want to be in the music world. Now, if you have any questions, you can call directly to this number here and leave a voicemail with your contact, and we can schedule a phone call. Let me know that you're serious about getting started, but maybe you have some other questions that you want to talk about. Maybe you, I didn't cover everything and you're like, hey, I just want to ask a couple things. Totally fine. Call this number right now, guys. Leave a message or shoot a text. Say that you're interested and let me know what your questions are. Now, I promised you that I was going to give you your free email template. So all you have to do is take this quick 30-second survey. You're going to let me know what you felt about this webinar. And you're going to go to SMG survey, so starvingmusiciansguidesurvey.com. Fill out that survey really quick. And you're going to get your free download for that email template to help you book gigs. Now, this webinar has gone a little bit over, but I'm still willing to take a few questions for you guys. So if you want to answer, I'll answer like maybe 3 or 4 questions for you. And if you have any other questions, please just call this number. All right. So Georgie 1990 says, what is the most exciting show that you've ever done? Well, I've talked to you guys, and this is a great question, about the amazing things that I've gotten to experience because of traveling and everything. But I'm going to say the most impactful, the things that really stick out in my head are not just the ones that, were really great to be on stage, but I'll give you just a couple examples. And one is, at one point I was performing and I was playing at just a little bar. It wasn't a really big deal. There maybe it was like 100 people there. Right. And I went to the restroom in one of my breaks, and this woman came up to me and she said, thank you so much. And she there were tears in her eyes. And, I said, of course, I'm having a good time. How are you? And she said, I was given a diagnosis. And she said, I was given 6 months to live. And she said that she'd been diagnosed with cancer, and her friends had been trying to get her out, for a long time. She wouldn't get out, and they finally convinced her to come out that night. And she said, this is the most fun that I've had in years. And she said, I'm not going to be here in 6 months. And she said, but this was the most fun I've had, and I will always remember this. And she said, thank you. And I just couldn't believe that what I was doing was having that kind of impact on somebody. Even right now, just recalling it, I'm like trying not to, get choked up, because it's insane, the gift of music, and then to also not only that, be able to provide this feeling for people, and then to also be able to make a living off of it, to be able, it's just something that is so rewarding. So I will say that that's probably the most exciting thing about doing music, period. Everything else is extra, but to be able to make that kind of impact in other people's lives are just, you can't measure the value in that. Okay, Sylvia 12 says, how often do I travel? Is there a limit to how much you can go around the world with most contracts? No, you could travel as much as you want. The only thing you would be careful of is making sure that you don't take a contract, as you're taking another contract. Just make sure that all your commitments are covered. There's no limits. If you're done on January 19th and you want to start another contract on January 20th on another cruise ship or another resort or whatever, you could be traveling all year. And a lot of people do this full time. So these cruise ship gigs and these resorts and that sort of thing, some of these people do this 100% of the year. So they don't have any other gigs. That's what they do. So you can perform as much as you can and as much as you are able, as much as you are willing, and you just go out there. There are so many opportunities. And like I mentioned before, venues are desperate for good musicians, guys. They're desperate to find people that treat this like a business, that, have their stuff together, that can go on and entertain their guests. Okay, and Samantha says, if you are not American, but you want to perform on American cruise ships, are there any legal issues or hurdles we have to go through? Oh, you know what? No one's ever asked me this, but this is a really great question, Samantha. On the cruise ships, actually, most of the staff and everybody are not American. So the one of them that I was on was mostly like Indian and Filipinos and just people from all over the place, and that includes musicians. So what's wonderful is they'll fly you out from anywhere. If you're Australian, if you're African, if you're, whatever, Asian, as long as you have the talent, they need you. Like I told you, venues are it's so hard to find good talent. So when they find good talent, they're willing to pay your plane ticket, they're willing to pay your lodging, they're willing to pay your food, and you can get out there and not have any expenses. And you can go out there and definitely get right away to performing. It doesn't matter what country you're in. So it's pretty awesome. So I hope that answers your question. They might have different things like, you have to provide your passport and provide like a medical report and that sort of thing. But once you get those little steps taken care of, it doesn't matter where you're from. You can definitely get on. All right, guys, those are all the questions that I'm going to take right now. We have gone over, but thank you so much. I am happy to answer any more questions that you have. Just call the number that is listed here. Leave a message, and we'll schedule a phone call. And make sure to sign up, guys. This is just such an incredible opportunity. It is guaranteed to work. I give you my personal promise that it has everything that you need to possibly be successful in turning music into your career, making a living, doing what you love, and experiencing things that most people only dream about. All right, everybody, I can't wait to get started with you. Thank you so much for joining me today.